the exciting, the wonderful, the fantabulous podcast, Anything But Silent Cinema. I am going to be your new host.
Yeah, maybe in your dream want to be Terminator. Anyways, hello everybody, and welcome to the Anything But Silent Cinema podcast, as Freakazoid said. But I'm going to be your host, Cody. And today, we're not necessarily going to be needing to roll a clip, as we're going to be talking about substitutes for both cinema and theater. Now, the era that I've been predominantly covering and talking about has been the 1920s. And this is obviously because this is when cinema emerged most predominantly and became the most popular and overshadowed theater. This doesn't mean, however, that cinema and theater were necessarily the only things you can go do to spend your time or your money. You know, for example, we're at one right now. Baseball, one of the greatest American sports at the time, was, and honestly still is, extremely popular today. However, tickets cost a whole whopping $1. Now, Cody, you absolute moron, $1 is still an absolute steal. Well, accounting for inflation from 1920s money, $1 back then is roughly $13 today. And whilst that isn't a whole lot, you have to remember, I can go to the store and buy a bunch of pieces of candy for like a nickel. So whilst baseball was a great option if you didn't want to go see the cinema or go to a play, you could go see a baseball game. However, it was a little bit pricier at the time and really was long, it's tedious, it's baseball, it's not really for everyone. Well then fine, what else can I do? Well, you can go dance. Dance and music clubs were, and in some sense still are, extremely popular today. Maybe you can go out and illegally drink in a speakeasy and have some fun with some friends or a new gal pal of yours. It was a great pastime of the era, especially with the emergence of new music types and dances that came along, like jazz and the Charleston, the Lindy Hop. And like I said, these entrance fees to clubs may have been negligible, and even if so, it was oftentimes cheap and a fun activity that can stretch into the long hours of the night. But, let's say, Cody, I've got 2 left feet, I don't feel like dancing, or maybe I just want to stay home or do something closer to home. Well, you can read. Obviously, books were extremely popular, as rotting your brain on the internet wasn't an idea yet. You could even listen to, say, radio. You could listen to a radio television series of sorts. I don't know why I said television series, but you can listen to a radio show. They would play out kind of how modern television shows are, just without the picture. You have to picture everything, so you have to have a sense of imagination, but other than that, it's a great thing. But let's say your radio got fried because you accidentally dumped an entire gallon of water on it. Go outside and play. Go outside and take a walk. Obviously, there were parks then, and there are parks now. It was a great option to just go outside and take a stroll for a little bit. Go outside and be one with nature. But aside from condescending you on telling you to just take a walk, I guess, that's really going to wrap it up for a lot of today's episode. I've been Cody. This has been the Anything But Silent Cinema podcast, and we're going to wrap up with a fun fact. However, today, since we decided to take a journey out to the ballpark, we're going to talk about a quick scandal that played out at the time. Apparently, there was a scandal for the so-called White Sox of Chicago in 1919 to supposedly throw the game for a large amount of money. Now, this remains one of the most controversial scandals in all of, apparently, baseball history in America. But the idea was that some gamblers were deciding who to bet on for the World Series, and so they talked to a lot of the disgruntled players who basically were willing to throw the World Series, or throw the series, for extra money. They weren't getting paid a bunch. They were upset with their employer, so they said, yeah, screw it. We'll throw the game if you pay us X amount of money. But I mean, as not a huge baseball person myself, this is certainly interesting, and I recommend that you all do it, that you all look into it a little bit. But on that odd note, I'm going to let you all enjoy the rest of your day, afternoon, night. I don't know if you're in Alaska even. Enjoy your forever darkness. But this has been Cody with Anything But Silent Cinema. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.